Good morning, good afternoon, good night, somewhere in this world. Holistic journey. Okay, my mic is not on. Sorry. All right. All right, guys, 1 second. Bear with me. Bear with me. Just a second, okay? All right. Now, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good night, somewhere in this world, aka holistic.journey underscore TLA, also known as Sylvia Labria Gilliam. Is always on a journey, guys, always on a mindful, holistic journey, a journey that will evolve internally for the external and the internal, most of all. So, guys, I wanted to talk to you all about self care and mental exhaustion. Mental exhaustion plays a role in this whole universe. Well, not the universe, but the world that we live in. I say it plays a role in this world because there's so many components in the world that demands your mental attention, your mental abilities. So understanding how that energy is always on high demand, you want to create a balance in that. And that takes that self care routine, self love journey, and just beingness. So we definitely want to love ourselves holistically, authentically, get in touch with self, understanding self, being able to create this healthy space within you, around you, and set those boundaries, guys. Boundaries are very important, and it's hard to set boundaries if you never grow up in the world where you are able to just set boundaries in your life. People around you never set boundaries in their lives. So we want to learn how to set boundaries, guys. Setting boundaries is very detrimental to your mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical state of being. So we want to definitely set boundaries. We want to understand what boundaries look like, what it feels like to set boundaries, and what it feels like to not set boundaries. And that is what I'm talking about today, that mental exhaustion, guys. Mental exhaustion plays a major role in the world we live in, and with individuals, guys. Individuals are dealing with so much mentally, emotionally, and I definitely like to talk about trauma. I definitely like to talk about PTSD and a lot of things that are dealing in the mental arena when it comes to mental wellness. I've dealt with a lot of PTSD before. I've dealt with trauma, and it took a long time for me to understand how to balance myself, how to protect my mind, my body, my spirit from a lot of things outside in the world that works against that. Um, so definitely, guys, I definitely want you all to just tune in, observe yourself, take a self evaluation, and a reflection of what's going on in your life. How are things making you feel, mind, body, and spirit? What is happening? What is causing it? Um, but definitely, guys, I want you all to understand when it comes to connecting, being complete, being well, it starts from within. So understanding that whatever you need is all within you, and it takes you to initiate certain things in life to add on to your intentions and your purpose driven life that you are living on purpose with the purpose. All right. So I did a podcast yesterday, and the podcast spoke just about this very much subject that I'm speaking about right now. Um, and I know we've been in this pandemic, guys, for a couple years now. And I commend everyone for holding up because we faced a lot of traumatic situations. We faced a lot of uncertainty, a lot of mind boggling things that have occurred and reoccurred, and it feels like it was nonstop. So psychologically, mentally, that can take a toll on the mind, in the body and the spirit, emotionally, physically. So I want to commend you guys for staying strong and staying in your flow. And if you got out of flow, it's okay, because you could always get back in the flow. And I'm a person that had definitely um, got out of my flow a little bit. But I was so aware, so conscious of it. But a lot of things in life we cannot control. And that is a time when you need your strength and you need your abilities and your skill sets that you have implanted in you, inserted in you through your journey. So they always come to a point in your life where you're definitely going to have to be able to play those out. You're definitely going to have to be able to implement these things that you learned over your time, over the time in your journey. All right. So that's just that, guys. We want to definitely protect ourselves. Um, and this is the point that I wanted to make. When it comes to mental exhaustion, guys, the brain itself is it takes a small percentage of the weight when it comes to weighing everything in your body. Um, the brain is like 3% of your body weight, maybe 2%, something like that, 2 to 3% of your body weight. But it demands more energy than any other organ in your body. Hmm, that's interesting. It's a very powerful organ. It is your commander, your chief at work all the time. So we definitely want to take care of that. And there's ways that we take care of that with nutrients, with mindfulness, with practice makes perfect, focus, direction, being able to focus, guys, is the way you train your brain. Redirecting your thoughts trains your brain. Being mindful, being aware of what's going on with you internally and externally. So those are the things that we want to be able to pay attention to. People, placing things. What is causing us to deviate away from our focus points? If you have a focus point and you have a purpose in a journey that you have jumped on, what is pushing you away from that? What's pulling you away from it? What is demanding you so much to where you are not focused on what you want to do and what you need to be doing? Pay attention, okay? Because you get what you pay for. And I say that time and time again, you get what you pay for. All right. So, taking reflections, guys, seeing what's out there that's demanding us to give it's our attention. It's demanding the attention. So now over time, guys, the mind becomes molded, but it's not fixed because it's very flexible. So we want to be able to pay attention to what what are we paying attention to? Where are we going with our thoughts, with our attention, with our actions? What will it cause in the future? And don't look so far in the future. Look at what you're doing right now and the cause and effects of things. So, with that being said, we want to be able to see what is it bringing on us. What is it causing? Is it causing good dopamine to be released, or is it causing stress and anxiety and cortisol? Okay, I prefer dopamine than cortisol. Cortisol is causing stress. Dopamine is that happy, happy thing that you get when you're excited and motivated and ready to do something that you know you're gonna be amazing at. Even if you're not amazing at it, you're gonna be challenging yourself because you're full of that dopamine and you're excited and you're ready. All right, stay ready. All right, stay ready. Now, cortisol on the other end is the hormone released when you're stressed out, when you're mentally drained, when you're being pulled mentally, emotionally. Oh my God. Okay, that's cortisol. All right, so we want to definitely talk about cortisol. All right, cortisol makes you pick up weight and things like that. And I have picked up a little weight, and I have been a little bit under stress lately, going through different changes in my life. But managing that, having a self care, self love routine. Well, once you love yourself and fall in love with yourself, there's no going back. You're going to stand firm in who you are and what you want and what you don't want. But in order to implement that and keep that going, you have to give yourself self care acts daily, daily. Love yourself. Show that you love yourself. Pamper yourself. Nurture yourself. Learn, teach yourself. Empower yourself. Motivate yourself. affirm yourself. All right. So these are the things, guys, that we want to definitely look at when we are dealing with other people, places, and things. What kind of energy is it bringing? What kind of energy is it inserting in our lives? Um, and where's it really coming from? So once you pay attention to that, guys, once you really pay attention to that, you're going to start seeing what's happening outside of you and inside of you. And I also talked about this, guys. We want to definitely still be able to set boundaries. Setting boundaries does not mean you have to fight for who you are. You don't have to fight for who you are, because that is mentally draining. That's emotionally draining to have to keep telling yourself or telling another person, place, or thing who you are in order to get what you need when it comes to respect or level of just respect, really. Just respect. Like, stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. That's all. Um, there's so many things that people have dealt with and dealing with, and not being able to see those things. If they're not seeing a thing, sometimes it's unfortunate for that person, because people are very sensitive to life and energy, and a lot of people cannot handle the different things out there that keeps demanding certain things from them that is harmful to their being. So we want to be able to look at these different characteristics about ourselves, see what's going on with us, see what kind of characteristics are attracted to us. Because I do talk about the different personality traits out there that I've dealt with personally. In my personality, guys, I'm a optimistic, seeing the good in everything, so forgiving, um, justifying, like, oh, there's a reason that this is like this, so there has to be a solution, always trying to fix things. So there are other personalities that are attracted to people like that, and those personalities are kind of like, it can be like a leech to your energy. It's like energy vampire. It will suck the energy right out of you, because it demands your attention, because it's something that is missing inside of self. So it starts demanding attention from you. Um, and I gave an example in my podcast of a narcissist. A narcissist, guys. A narcissist is obsessed with being admired. It's obsessed with attention. It's like it needs it to survive. That's that narcissistic supply. And it demands it. It looks for it. And it's going to do all the love bombing, like, to get it. And if the love bombing don't work, and then it starts doing this guilt, I'm going to exploit you and be aggressive toward you and make you confused and think it's your fault. So you're going to give me attention and want to know. No, we have to stop that. And I say that with concern, because it's easy to fall into the arms of a narcissist, of these different personality traits that has these facades on and don't understand how to connect with self. So once they realize that you're a person that will feed them that narcissistic supply, they're going to latch onto you and attach themselves to you and drain you, exhaust you mentally. And once you are mentally exhausted, there are these executive functions in the brain that will stop working. Okay. The ability to make decisions, being mentally flexible. Something happens, you be confused on what do I do. Um, you're gonna lose the ability to just have focus. You're gonna lose the ability to concentrate on the things that you need. You're gonna lose a lot of um, things that you need on a daily basis just to function mentally. Your enthusiasm, you lose that. You lose a lot of things within being mentally exhausted. And there are a lot of people out there, placing things that thrive on exhausting people in order to exploit them and take advantage of them. So that's a psychological thing, guys. I want you guys to look into that. Look into the executive mental functions, the executive functions of the brain. You're going to see maybe 8 of them. Okay. And those are the things that are targeted when a person becomes mentally exhausted, because when you're mentally exhausted, there are hormones and things working in your body to protect yourself. You're going into fight flight. Once you go into fight flight, hormones have been released, and it's going to freeze certain things in parts of your brain to not work properly, because it's trying to survive right then and right there. So now you're stuck in like a center of a spider web. This spider trying to get you, and you're stuck right there. So that's what you want to pay attention to: your functionality, your ability to be yourself. Don't ever not be yourself for any person, place, or thing, because that's who you are. Okay? And I want to say that out loud, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are challenged with that. And it's easy to fall into that. And I want you to embrace yourself, love yourself, and don't take it hard on yourself, because this is part of life, guys. It's part of life. We live in a prey predator world. I hate to say it like that, but there are a lot of predators out there preying on the vulnerable, and there's a lot of vulnerable looking to become stronger, and we happen to fall in the wrong hands. And some people are more wiser in their predator behaviors and have this way to manipulate you within it, to make you as a vulnerable person that's hopeful, that's want to, oh my God, I really love this whole scenario at this moment. So there are a lot of people that know how to manipulate you in that. So pay attention, okay? Pay attention to the patterns. Don't pay attention to what's been said. Because my grandmother told me, a pair of lips will say anything. Believe none of what you hear and half what you see. But when someone is showing you who they are, believe them. That's what Maya Angelou said. And that's it. Those two quotes really go well together. All right. So pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to your own patterns. And I want you guys to look at the fight, flight response. Okay, there's fight, there's flight, there's freeze, and there's fawn. Fawn is where you become a people pleaser because you've been through this trauma, you don't want to please everybody, and people take advantage of that. Frozen is when you become depressed, you lose energy, you don't have interest in anything anymore. We don't want to fall into any of those. Fight is where you become aggressive, protecting yourself. You want to be aggressive, and you demand things because you're protecting a part of you that you don't want to be harmed anymore. And so you're fighting. Or they're just a narcissist and want to take advantage of another person, which that's impossible. When it's out of yourself, leave it there. Leave it out. Okay. And then there's the flight. Okay. So we want to be mindful of where we are within ourselves. The flight is where you're very impulsive. We don't want to be impulsive. You lost control. You're losing control of yourself. So we definitely want to be able to understand these concepts of reality and pay attention and connect them dots with our life and where are we and where do we want to be. I always say that. Where are you and where do you want to be? I was in a place before that I was not happy with a long time ago because I felt like I didn't understand what was going on with me, why this is going on with me, what's going on in my life, why, what is this, who, what, when, where, how. Okay? And then you gain clarity once you get on a journey. You gain clarity, you gain the know-how. You gain the know-how. The know-how will empower you. Just understanding what these terms mean, connecting them and seeing how it looks in your life, seeing what it looks like in the people in your lives, so you can better deal with them. You can better position yourself in a healthier position instead of being unhealthy and being a target or being the bow and arrow that's targeting those kind of people. So there we go. We definitely want to look into that. And I'm going to come back and talk about this subject again because I was just flying through it right now, but I would definitely show you guys a much more when it comes to self-care and the mental exhaustion, how they play a part, how mental exhaustion plays against you taking care of yourself. What's exhausting you, what's demanding your mental energy and your emotional energy and your physical attention, and you, what is pulling you from you more than you need you? What is it? All right. And sometimes you can't talk to people about things because it's mentally draining, because you want to start writing, start journaling. Okay, start journaling, because when you journal, things will come out. You will get clarity when you journal. Okay, you start getting, I'm not going to show y'all it, but yeah, start journaling. Want somebody to freeze that and start reading my stuff. Oh my goodness, how dare you? But anyway, yes, but journal, guys, is important. Journaling is important because sometimes the human brain, especially these days, you share something very intimate and somebody would just start talking about it, like, it takes away from it. It takes away, and it would mentally drain you, because that's not where you're going with it. Sometimes you just want somebody to listen. Sometimes you just want people to hear you. So get it out on paper sometimes, guys, because you are trying to wrap up your life the way you need it and the way you want it. Most of all, the way you need it. And sometimes you don't need people surfacing over everything, so we definitely want to pay attention to that, because it can get very distorted, because only you can feel the rain on your skin. That song, feel the rain on your skin, no one else can feel it for you. That's right, nobody can feel your rain. Like, did you feel that? No, I felt it. All right, so let it be. All right. Just have the ear and empathy. Be a friend. Be that ear. Have empathy. Have consideration. Have patience. Have control in these conversations. Not this sporadic, impulsive, gotta say, gotta know, gotta understand. That is mentally draining to a person um, that is conscious or unconscious. All right, guys, so I am definitely about to stop this video just for this moment, but I definitely want to come back and talk about this more in depth and show you guys a few different things that you can direct yourself to in references. So I want you guys to understand this. Self-care is so, so, so it. Like, it is it. Like, you're not taking care of yourself. What is it? What are you doing? You have a purpose and you have a journey to get on. You have abilities that have not been expressed in this world. So don't allow them to be smothered and covered up and calloused over with other people, places, and things, scenarios, or what have you, or energy. All right. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to holistic.journey_TLA. I want you guys to have an amazing morning, afternoon, or night somewhere in this world. Stay tuned, guys, and check out my podcast on Anchor. And I will post, I will do all that later. Okay. So right now, I just want you guys to focus on mental exhaustion. Okay. The executive functions of mental exhaustion that is harmed when you're dealing with mental exhaustion, draining of the energy like a vampire. All right. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.